Mesoamerican myths, rich in stories, give us a peek into old civilizations in today's Mexico and Central America. The stories about Quetzalcoatl, a god linked with wind, air, and learning, show how myth, culture, and society evolved together in these ancient places. The tales of Quetzalcoatl echo through time, showing the lasting impact of Mesoamerican myths. A key part of Quetzalcoatl's story is its widespread nature across Mesoamerica. Respect and images of this god went beyond the language and cultural differences of the various Mesoamerican societies. In the Maya civilization, he was called Kukulkan, while the Mixtec, Zapotec, and Aztec people had their own versions of this feathered serpent god. This shared mythology shows a common thread that brought these different civilizations together. The images tied to Quetzalcoatl, mainly that of a feathered serpent, show the blending of different mythological themes in Mesoamerica. The serpent, often seen in Mesoamerican art and religion, stands for earth, water, and the underworld, while feathers, linked with the sky, hint at a divine or heavenly link. So, the image of a feathered serpent captures the balanced and linked nature of Mesoamerican beliefs, a mix of earthly and divine, real and otherworldly. Furthermore, Quetzalcoatl's tales often mix with historical stories. Some suggest a real person, a leader or priest, named Quetzalcoatl, who greatly changed the social, political, and religious scenes of ancient Mesoamerica. These tales blend myth and history, creating a rich mix of legends that add to the mysterious charm of Quetzalcoatl. The blending of real people into mythic tales shows the lively and mixed nature of Mesoamerican storytelling. The lasting impact of Quetzalcoatl can still be felt in modern expressions of cultural identity and pride in Mexico and other Central American countries. The god's images and tales remain key to the region's cultural and artistic expressions. Plus, modern retellings of Quetzalcoatl's tales show a continual connection with the old mythic heritage, proving its lasting importance and impact. Also, digging into Quetzalcoatl's tales provides priceless understanding of ancient Mesoamerican beliefs and their deep thoughts on life, balance, and the divine. It invites modern people to explore a mindset that celebrated life's cyclical nature and the tied fates of humans and gods. This exploration not only deepens the understanding of Mesoamerican myths but also encourages a wider appreciation of the varied human imagination and spiritual expression. The talk about Quetzalcoatl also crosses into larger academic and cultural debates on the nature of myth and its role in society. It questions the modern idea of set storylines, urging a more open, inclusive way to understand and interpret old tales. Through Quetzalcoatl's varied and changing tales, modern audiences can better appreciate the endless creativity and deep insights found in myths that have traveled through time and continue to touch the hearts of Mesoamerican descendants. Quetzalcoatl is a central figure that embodies a unique idea. The way people saw and valued this deity changed from place to place and from one time to another, showing the various kinds of societies that existed in the region known as Mesoamerica. At first, people thought of Quetzalcoatl in connection with basic natural forces like the wind and rain. He was also seen as a sign of fertility and the start of new things. Over time, the worship of Quetzalcoatl changed and grew to include many different roles. He went from being seen as a great creator of everything to someone who supported learning and science. Just like with many other mythologies around the world, the stories and beliefs of Mesoamerica don't fit into a simple single category. For example, even the way people say Quetzalcoatl can be quite different, showing how cultures within Mesoamerica had their own unique aspects. The worship of this deity spread across a wide area, from the ancient Olmec civilization, where there are carvings showing feathered serpents from as far back as 1200 BC, to the time when the Aztec civilization was at its peak, and Quetzalcoatl was honored as a god of wind, a creator of people, and a supporter of knowledge. There are many sides to Quetzalcoatl, as can be seen through his connection to the growth of crops, especially in the story of how maize, a kind of corn, came to be. According to the old tales, after making a new race of people, the gods realized there was nothing for them to eat. Quetzalcoatl, wanting to help humanity survive, saw a red ant carrying a grain of maize. This led him to a special mountain, where he turned into an ant to get maize for the people. This story really emphasizes how important maize was to the people of Mesoamerica and shows Quetzalcoatl as someone who provides and protects. Quetzalcoatl's reach went beyond just food and farming, stretching into science and learning. People believed he came up with the idea of books, set up calendars, and was even linked to the planet Venus. Being part earthly creature, like a serpent, and part divine being, with feathers, probably helped to make him a widely revered figure. This dual nature allowed people to feel a spiritual connection to him, while also seeing their own everyday worries and experiences reflected in his story. When it came to art and cultural displays, Quetzalcoatl was often shown as a feathered serpent, a symbol filled with deep cultural and religious meaning. But sometimes, he was shown in a human form, as a man with a beard, wearing jade jewelry, symbolizing his link to the wind through the things he carried. His impact was so big that it went beyond cultural lines, even inspiring the name for Quetzalcoatlus, a kind of prehistoric flying reptile, connecting the legend to a real, though now extinct, part of the natural world. The mysterious nature of Quetzalcoatl is wrapped up in many different interpretations and roles across various native cultures and historical times. Exploring the core of Mesoamerican civilization brings out the many-sided character of Quetzalcoatl, showing us not just a deity, but a reflection of how the civilization's ideas and frameworks evolved over time. Through Quetzalcoatl, we can see a mirror reflecting the changing beliefs and values of a civilization, revealing a rich tapestry of historical and cultural evolution. In the old halls of Teotihuacan culture, from the 3rd to 8th century CE, the name Quetzalcoatl was murmured, as he was honored as a god of plants. The rich greens and plentiful crops were his gifts to the land. This early image of Quetzalcoatl shows a peek into the farming core of Mesoamerican groups and their respect for nature forces representing life and food. As time moved through Mesoamerican periods, the Aztec culture accepted Quetzalcoatl with more divine qualities. At the center of Aztec myths, he was not only praised as a wind god but also as a maker of humans. It was thought that his breath brought life, tying souls to earthly bodies. As a supporter of learning, he was the light leading the search for knowledge, a helper in the endless dark of not knowing. His smartness was like a shining sun clearing away doubts, and he also ruled over the sacred flow of time as the god of the Aztec ritual calendar. In the world of food, Quetzalcoatl was the god in charge of corn and maize, the main food supporting the lives of the Aztecs. His image was also closely tied with ideas of death and coming back to life, a cycle reflecting the natural rhythms of life. His godly story told the tale of making humans, where, with a touch of magic, he gave life to humans by mixing bone dust with his blood. This story highlighted the deep symbol of blood as the life juice, a common theme in Central American myths. The godly image of Quetzalcoatl grew with qualities of fruitfulness, carrying the hopes and wishes for plentiful crops and healthy children. His big dance of making and ending happened alongside another god, Xolotl, the bringer of death. Together, they showed the deep Mesoamerican theme of two sides and balance, the forever play of opposite yet matching forces shaping the world. As the Aztec culture came to a big turning point in history, whispers of Quetzalcoatl's return were in the air. The Aztec calendar pages held this old prophecy, and fate spun its secret threads when Spanish invader Hernán Cortés came to Aztec land in 1519. His arrival, happening with the predicted return of Quetzalcoatl, stirred feelings of faith and fear, making some see Cortés as the returning god. The Aztec leader Moctezuma II, moved by prophecy, at first saw Cortés as the godly Quetzalcoatl. This key meeting showed the deep and often rough mix of myth and real history, where godly stories and real happenings danced together, making the lasting story of Quetzalcoatl that still rings in the tales of Mesoamerican history. Through this complex mix of godly roles, historical crossings, and culture stories, Quetzalcoatl comes out not just as a god, but as a symbol of the changing identity and spirit of Mesoamerican cultures. What part of Quetzalcoatl's story fascinated you the most? Share your thoughts below. Smash that like and subscribe for more.